when you guys came in here, one of the things that everybody was concerned with was pricing. How do we overcome objections? How do we make sure that our price is, competitive? And, how do we combat Chuck in a truck and Joe's heat 'em and cheat 'em and Larry's cool 'em and fool 'em, right? Because their price is going to be lower than ours. So how do we combat that? So keep this in mind, okay? Price versus cost. There's a big difference. You need to understand that there's a big difference between price and cost. Okay, first I'm going to give you the definitions of each of the words. Price is what you pay today to purchase a product or service. Okay, so price is what somebody pays today, right now today, to purchase any product or any service, right? But the cost is what you're going to pay over the life of that product or service to actually own it. Does that make sense? So price is what you pay today to purchase a product or service. Cost is what you pay over the life of that product or service to actually own it. There's a big difference between the two. See, most people don't understand the difference between price and cost, and they want the lowest price. That's really not what they want, is it? Nobody, given that definition, really wants the lowest price. What they want is the lowest cost. Make sense? So, let me give you some examples. How many of you have been working in the field? Dave, you've worked in the field in the past, right? You've used tools. Did you buy all of your tools at Harbor Freight? Why not?
Because I needed them.
Yeah, but it's the cheapest price, isn't it?
They don't last.
So it's the highest cost.
Constantly buying them.
So it's the highest cost. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the cheapest price is never the lowest cost. Does it make sense? So here's some of the things that I used to always try to tell stories when I was with customers, right? Stories sell, facts tell. So I always, the best storytellers are the best salespeople. Look at the Bible. Book full of stories, isn't it? So it's all about the story. So at the end of the day, this is kind of how a story could go. When somebody's really price sensitive, right? They're very price conscious. Just talk to them about price versus cost. Hey, listen, Mary, there's a big difference between price and cost. Let me explain that to you. Price is what you pay today to purchase a product or service. Cost is what you pay over the life of that product or service to actually own it. And there's always a big difference. I mean, the smartest investors always look for the lowest cost and never the cheapest price. Now, we pride ourselves in being the lowest cost provider in our area. But that doesn't mean that we're the lowest price competitors. Let me tell you a story. See, when I was 21 years old, we bought our first house. When we bought our first house, my wife wanted to have a garden. So I found myself on the side of the house one summer, rototiller in the land, to put in a 75 by 35 foot garden. Then I realized I need to have a hose, right? I gotta water the land, gotta water the soil. So I go to Home Depot, I'm standing the hose out. Did you know there's about 25 different hoses that you can buy at Home Depot? They were all 100 foot long. The biggest difference was some were vinyl hoses and some were rubber hoses. The vinyl hoses were $25, the rubber hoses were $75. Which one do you think I bought? The vinyl, exactly. I bought based on price. So I bought that vinyl hose for $25. I brought that hose home, I hooked it all in, I turned the water on, and you know what? I had very little water pressure coming out the end of my hose. What was in my hose about 15 feet away from me? A kink. Do you ever notice when somebody has a kink in the hose, they never just walk over and undo it, do they? No, they stand there and they try to whip it out, don't they? Yeah, so and that kink you keep forever, don't you? So now I got this brand new hose, and I've got my first kink in it. And over the course of the first season, I've got 2, 3, or even 4 kinks in this hose. The next season, I bring the hose out, hook it all up. Now, rather than having very little water pressure at the end of my hose, I've got no water pressure, right? But I got a sprinkler system 15 feet away from where I am, where that first kink showed up, don't I? What happened to my hose?
Correct.
It burst. Did you know that they sell parts for your hose? They got plastic parts for $4, and they got brass parts for $12. Which ones do you think I bought? Neither. Right then and there, I knew the difference between price and cost. Had I just spent a little bit more on the front side, I wouldn't be standing in Home Depot right now looking for parts for a hose. If I would have just bought that rubber hose, I would have never had a kink. It had a lifetime warranty on it, right? I mean, at the end of the day, if I would have based my decision on the lowest price and I would have based it on the lowest cost, I wouldn't be standing here right now and have to deal with all this aggravation. So now let me ask you, what type of buyer are you? Are you looking for the lowest price? Or are you looking for the cheapest cost? You can do it with ceramic brakes versus metallic brake pads. You can do it with kitchen cutlery, with pots and pans, right? I mean, they sell pots and pans at Walmart for $9. You can buy a frying pan. We got a culinary arts specialist over here, right? I can buy a frying pan for $19.95. It's gonna suck, right? And you're gonna buy it again and again and again. Or I can go to Sur La Table or Sur La Table, or I can go to, Williams Sonoma.
Lugosi's Best Emerald.
Yeah, and how much is that 12-inch frying pan? About $400.
$449.
Whatever it is. All I'm saying is there's a big difference between price and cost. You get what you pay for, as somebody said earlier. Good things aren't cheap, cheap things aren't good. So whenever we make important decisions in our life, we don't really look for the lowest price, do we? We look for the lowest cost. So whether it be tools, whether it be brakes for your car, whether it be cutlery, doesn't matter, hoses, right? Come up with a story. Here's the rules of the story. We're going to tell a story about this, make it interactive. Which hose do you think I bought? You ever notice when somebody, gets a kink in their hose? Make it funny. Make them smile. Make them laugh. Do you know that they sell parts for your hose? They got plastic parts for $4. They got brass parts for $12. Which one do you think I bought? You answered. I didn't answer, right? It's entertaining to a certain degree. Come up with a story. Come up with an analogy that you can share with people that help them understand the difference between price and cost. Because one thing's for sure, if we want to be the best contractors in the world, we're never going to be the lowest price. But we are the lowest cost. We do it once. We do it right the first time. We ensure that our installations are installed at a level that other people don't. Because 9 out of 10 brand new installations are done incorrectly across North America, aren't they? Not when you do business with us. We guarantee that yours is in the top 10%, don't we, Frankie? Right? So we are the lowest cost provider. So I wanted to share that with you. Thank you very much.